I wanted to take some time today just to make a quick video about behavior training versus obedience training. I find in general the average owner doesn't know that there's a difference between behavioral training and obedience training, and if they do know that there must be some sort of difference, a lot of the time I find that they don't know what those differences would be. So I'm going to break it down very simply here. So obedience training is more like a set skill. So for example, let's say you have a student who knows how to do geometry and trigonometry, like they know math. Math would be more of an obedience type skill. Like it's a learned skill. Anybody can learn it if they apply themselves. Same with dogs. And it is something that is taught to this person, but it's not necessary for them to live. Like it's not a necessary skill, as it were. I mean, some would arguably say that math is important. Not saying that math isn't important. I'm just saying that nobody's going to die without trigonometry. So then, in that case, what is behavior training? Behavior training is very much like, let's say you have somebody who has trauma. So maybe they have PTSD, maybe they have been in a traumatic accident, maybe something has happened to them where they have a level of trauma and they need to be rehabilitated through this. They need help because they have night terrors or what have you, right? All the lovely things that come with trauma. That is like what behavior training is. We are addressing the trauma that a dog may have. We are helping them feel better about the world instead of having dysfunctional emotions and dysfunctional behaviors. And so those types of training look very, very different. No amount of teaching a dog how to sit is going to help them overcome a trauma. Even if this dog will sit in the situations which they find stressful, that doesn't mean that we have made that dog feel better. So really my whole point with this video is to just sort of point out here that there is a massive difference between obedience training, which is what a lot of people think dog training is, versus behavior style dog training. Like I said, no amount of obedience training is going to teach a dog. It's not going to create behavioral wellness in that dog. And no amount of behavior training, since it's a completely different thing, behavior training is not going to teach a dog obedience. It's going to repair relationships. It's going to make a dog more confident. And there can be elements in there that are obedience related, but it's not going to give you a competition level, obedience-minded dog, because it's a different thing. So those two things should not be seen as the same side of the coin. They're very much two different sides of a coin. They're going to look very different when they are done with the dog, and it's going to the literal skills that the dog is learning when they're being taught obedience versus when they are being behaviorally rehabilitated is very different.